Samit Chavan with us on the show, and so is Manas Jaiswal. Welcome, gentlemen. Manas, let's start off with you then. No support from the bank Nifty, and we're still holding out above the 8100 mark. What do you make of this? Samit, give us your thoughts on the index.
Good afternoon. Nifty has corrected quite sharply from higher levels of 85 and 85.50 in nearly 8 to 10 transition, nearly 8 to 10% correction, and now Nifty is hovering around its strong support zone. Last week we saw Nifty testing its Brexit close of 7926, and from there we saw a decent pullback. Overall, the market was extremely oversold, so bounce back was on cards. So we expect this bounce backs to extend a bit. Our immediate levels on the higher side would be around 80 to 50, 8300 for Nifty. Yes, Bank Nifty is clearly underperforming, but we believe that sectors like IT, FMCG would contribute heavily in this bounce back. Thus, we expect Nifty to continue this bounce back at least towards 8300, and on the lower side now 8000 to 7900 would act as a very strong support zone.
Right, Samit, so what stock ideas would you recommend?
We would recommend two stocks. Both would be on the long side. First one would be on DHFL, which has already undergone a strong price-wise correction from higher levels of 325, 330. However, it is now hovering around its 200-day SMA, which is placed around 230. Today we are seeing a good traction in this counter. Going forward, we expect the stock to climb towards 265, which would be a near-term target. It can be bought on any dip. Stop loss would be around 265. Our other buy would be on PSU Bank's Karnataka Bank. This stock has corrected quite sharply in the recent past. However, similar to DHFL, this stock is too hovering around its 200 SMA, which is placed around 103. Today we are seeing a subdued movement in the stock, but we believe that this could be a very good buying opportunity. The RSI oscillator is extremely oversold, thus we expect a bounce towards 118 in KTK Bank. Stop loss would be around 94.
Okay, let's also get in Manas Jaiswal then on the show to discuss his technical take. And Manas, run us through your top picks.
See, two buy recommendation. First is Bharti Airtel, where after a very long time stock has made a strong base near to 300, 290, and today it bounced back sharply. It broke its 50-day moving average with great volumes. Oscillators are showing positive crossword. So now possibility is high that stock can test its 100-day moving average, which is placed near to 326. So the target comes near to 326. One can buy it with the stop loss of 309. And secondly, the buy call on United Spirits, where stock has broken the neckline of inverse essential pattern on the intraday chart, and now we may see further recovery in United Spirits. It can test the 2000 mark. So my target is 2000. One can buy it with the stop loss of 1885.
Okay, some important flashes coming in on your screen, and I think, you know, we at ET Now were the first ones to really report this. That the Finance Minister has introduced the amendment to the Income Tax Act in Lok Sabha today, and you know, this is exactly what we reported to you just a few days back, that the amendment is going to be on the lines of that to effect there's going to be a 50% tax, a 25% lock-in for 4 years. That of course is Shaktikanta Das. He's just going to be making a statement perhaps on what the Finance Minister had to say, and the proposals to the introduction of the amendment on the IT tax. We can cut across.
Reserve Bank of India is a part of the liquidity management strategy used by the Reserve Bank of India. Perhaps it had become necessary in the context of the excessive liquidity. It had become necessary due to the excessive liquidity in the system. And as you know, when there is excessive liquidity, it adds to volatility in the money markets, volatility in the currency markets. And in fact, the other thing to be noted is that our bond yields and the GSEC rates in India were going down when almost in all emerging markets the bond yields were going up in line with the US Treasury bills and the US bond rates. So that was mainly happening because of the excess liquidity that we had in the system. And when the bond yields go down, naturally there is a tendency on the part of the people to take the money out into high yielding areas, especially the United States, which offers higher yields. So therefore its impact was also perhaps being felt in the currency markets, and some quantum of outflow of FII and other investments could not have been ruled out. So to sum up, I would like to say that it's a step which had become necessary in the context of the excessive liquidity. It had become necessary to arrest the possible increase in volatility in currency markets. It had also become necessary to soften, sort of the kind of declining bond yields that we were experiencing in India, so that there is not an unusual outflow of currencies, hard currencies from India.
So,
thank you.
Are the banks going to be compensated for the amount of time they hold the...
You see, the Reserve Bank of India has already given a proposal for increasing the MSS limit, and it's under consideration of the government.
Sir, how much will the limit be?
Sorry?
Next RBI
Sorry?
policy, with regard to the current liquidity situation, sir, what do you assess will be the impact?
No, I would not. I cannot speculate on the, on the possibilities in the RBI monetary policy, which is due, first week of next month. So I would not. Just a moment, please. I would not like to speculate on that. Monetary policy management is a part of, it's within the RBI's domain, and I am sure they will take a considered decision.
So there is a cap on MSS currently at 30,000 crore rupees. How much would that quantum will increase, if at all?
No, as and when we take the decision on the RBI proposal, we will be able to tell you on that. One more.
Can we expect it in the Parliament? Yeah, in this week, can we expect it through the supplementary demand for grants, sir?
You have to wait for the supplementary demand for grants. What comes in the supplementary demand for grants will not be proper on my part to mention it here. As and when the supplementary estimates are presented in the Parliament, the contents will be known to you. Thank you.
So will it require parliamentary approval, sir?
Sikandar Das, the TA secretary, answering some loaded questions by most reporters. They're saying that RBI move on CRR was necessary due to the excessive liquidity in the system, which is fairly justifiable. That seems to be the reason for prompting RBI over the weekend to move on the CRR. Also, he's saying that currency markets were also seeing the effect of global issues, that is also leading to the weakness. And he's saying that the move by the Reserve Bank was extremely necessary in order to stop further outflows from the country with regards to the bond markets, and given the currency weakness as well that was prevalent. He's saying Indian bond yields were going down while yields across emerging markets were rising. So this move was necessary and the need of the hour in order to bring about some stability, not just within the country, but also with regards to the rest of the emerging market pack.
Oh yes, indeed. Those are some comments talking about the CRR norms. But right back to the markets, it's looking a little bit tempered. So what are the top movers and shakers? We've got in Pranay with a list. And Pranay, run us through all the stocks that are buzzing away in trade.
Well, Aman, the broader markets are buoyant in contrast to the lackluster benchmark indices. And if you look at the advanced decline, you're seeing more buying activity with, every 6 stocks trying to move up for 4 which are declining over here. If you pull up the ones which are moving the most, you will see some mid-cap cement names. So JK Cement is up about 4-5%. Good buying activity seen here. But the ones which are moving up more are HNI favorites such as Deccan Cements and Sagar Cements, which are up in double digits. Also take a look at Shilpa Medicare. This stock has hit record highs and is continuing that post-result rally which we saw on Friday. So it's up nearly 37-38% in the last 3 sessions. Indocount is another one along with Uflex, which came out with good results over the weekend, and these two are amongst the leading movers from the mid-cap index. Lastly is the JSPL, and we've seen how metals as a pack have been resilient. This one, JSPL, is the top mover from the metal index today. It's recovered about 6-7% and come back to the 200-day moving average. The volumes too, which we are seeing in today's session, are the highest in the last 2 weeks.
Okay, thanks very much for running us through all of those top movers and shakers, Pranay. Let's move right on and get on board our first viewer query. Majid Khan is with us on the phone line. He's got in a question on GVK Power. Majid, welcome to the show. What's your question?
Thank you very much. I have bought 9,000 shares of GVK Power over the years, and the average price I've bought is about 13 rupees. So I want to know whether I just sell it off and get off it, or should I retain this?
Manas, do you think it makes sense to stay invested in a stock that's now 5 rupees? Manas, the question was for
Yeah.
you. Does it make sense?
See, for last 2 years, stock is making lower bottoms. It fell from the level of 20 rupees. Now it is trading near to 6 rupees. I think this underperformance will continue in the coming days also. The trend is clearly weak. I think on any rallies near to 6 rupees 50 paisa, one should exit from the long position in GVK Power, and I think one should buy only if it breaks 8 rupees or 8 rupees 50 paisa.
Okay, moving on to the next question then, and this time we have Navtej Singh, who is with us on the phone line from Jamshedpur with a query on Suzlon. Welcome to our show, sir. What's your query?
Hi, my query is I have 15,000 shares at 15.5. I've bought it at 15.5 and my time horizon is 18 months. My question is, should I hold or should I buy more?
Manas, what would your recommendation be to Navtej? What should he do?
See, one thing is clear that the stock has a lot of support near to 12 rupees 50 paisa, 13 rupees. But still, the pattern is weak. I think on any rallies near to 15 rupees, near to 16 rupees, 25 paisa, one should exit from the long positions. And I think now one should take long only if it breaks 18 rupees.
Okay, that's the advice coming in. Samit, would you have any advice for Suzlon? Do you think that for a stock that's come off so rapidly that the advice would be to stay on, or do you concur with Manas?
This has been a clear laggard since last many years, not only in the near term, but if we look at the overall chart structure in last 5-6 years, this stock has underperformed, and until now we are not seeing any clear sign of reversal as such on daily, weekly or be it monthly charts. Since it is trading around its strong support, which is placed around 13.5, you should hold on with a stop loss of 13.5, and once this stock surpasses 16 with a rise in volume, then probably we could see some momentum. Till then this stock is likely to consolidate. As of now, you can hold on still. It's trading around its strong support, so 13.5 would be a strict stop loss, and once this stock surpasses 16 rupees, then probably you can add on to it.
Okay, gentlemen, good chatting with you as always, and thanks much for taking up some of our viewer queries. Let's take a very quick break on that note. When we come back, all about some wealth creation strategies.